Hey everyone, and welcome to S5U. We're going to be talking about social search optimization today. So this is the concept of enhancing your social channels so that they're more easily searchable by Google and Yahoo and any of those search engines that you might be using. So again, this is going to be kind of an easy, brief webinar. We're just going to talk about some very basic things that you can do. These are all free options that you can do, and just some really basic stuff. SEO tends to be one of those things where if we start to talk about it in any big detail or any depth, it gets really confusing really fast. So that's kind of the focus of today, is to focus on some really easy concepts that you can do that are free and that will help you increase the searchability of your pages. So let's hop into that real quick. So the first question that we hear all the time is, why do I need to optimize? And if any of you were in the last webinar, you saw this similar slide to this, but there's the whole reason is these little search spiders that are out crawling along the web looking for keywords and phrases and things like that they use to determine search results. And the thing that is different about your social channels is that your social channels are also searchable by these spiders, just like your web pages. So while we do search engine optimization on your website, you can also do this social search optimization that will help the results on your Facebook and your Twitter and things like that pop up higher in the results. Now, the reason why we want to do that is because social results are likely to be in the first page of Google search results. Sometimes they come up even higher than your website, especially if you haven't done a lot of SEO. So it's very important to have these social channels also up and ready to go, and so that they're able to be found by these spiders that are crawling around the web looking for them. So let's talk a little bit, we're going to just talk briefly about what you can do on each of the three big social channels that we usually deal with, which is Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, to enhance your page and make it more searchable by these little spiders. So let's start here with Facebook. And really, in Facebook, it all falls under this About tab right here. Okay, so you're just going to log into your Facebook page and pull up that About tab and just fill out as much information as you possibly can. This is going to make your page searchable. Now, if you go ahead and do these things with your profile, you're going to be ahead of a ton of businesses, because most businesses create their business Facebook page and they never really bother to go back and fill out a full profile. They may have a few things put in there and stuff. They might have their website or things like that, but they don't fill out the full profile. We've got listed here some of the priority fields that you're looking for. So if you don't do anything else, really make sure you get these. You want to include your address, because that will help with local search listings. You want to, this one is also important. You want to put in your long description and your short description, because they're used differently and you can use different terms in each one. The long description is a great chance to really dive into what your business does. In the short description, you're going to want to keep it snappy and try and fit in some keywords. By using both of those, it gives you the opportunity to kind of play off of the two and essentially give two different versions that can then both be searched. Then you also want to make sure you put in your email address and your website. Now, the website is important, again, because it provides another backlink to your website, like we talked about in the last webinar, that helps your website search engine optimization too. So again, those are the priority fields, but as much as you can fill out in here is really going to be helpful. If you have a mission statement that's got some keywords in it, put that in there. That's great. Talk about, the names of your founders, the products that you offer, and things like that. Things, the more information you can put in here, the more options you have to be found. And again, this is one of those things that not a lot of people take the time to do. So if you take the time and sit down and fill this profile out, it's really going to help you. So let's move on and talk about Twitter. Oh, sorry. Twitter here is kind of the opposite. On Twitter, you get 3 lines. So where on Facebook, you have this whole long profile that you can fill out, all these different fields. Twitter gives you 3 lines. So make the most of them. You want to make sure you include some keywords and search terms in there. So I've pulled up ours right here. You can see it says social media management made simple for businesses of all sizes. So things like that are key words and key phrases that we've put in there because we know businesses of all sizes is something that we want people to find us about. We want to make sure we include social media management, because that's what our company does. And then we've got our slogan on here: get social, stay social, get noticed. So again, only 3 lines on Twitter, and if you want to, you don't have to make it necessarily complete sentences. You can have, kind of a random scattering of keywords and stuff like that. Try and make them, into some semblance of that they make sense, and make sure that it includes some of those phrases that you want to be known by. If you're an ice cream shop, you want to make sure you include ice cream, and if you're an auto repair shop, you want to talk about what kind of repair you do, collision, paint, whatever it is. Try and get as many of those phrases into those 3 lines as you can. And, hopefully look good while doing it, right? It's kind of a big task. But the nice part is that you only have 3 lines, so it's not going to take you a ton of time to fill out. The last social channel here, obviously, that we're going to talk about today is LinkedIn. And LinkedIn is so cool that I actually want to take you to a LinkedIn page to take a look at that instead. So you can see here, I've got Jeremiah Stetler's LinkedIn page. Jeremiah is my boss here at Social 5, and he and I have worked together for a long time. So I don't think he'll mind me sharing his LinkedIn page with you. But the thing that's really cool about LinkedIn, for some reason, Google especially loves LinkedIn. So your LinkedIn page is going to be usually in the top 3 or 4 results on when someone searches for your business name. So that's really important, because it might come up even higher than your website, right? So you want to make sure it's filled out, that it's got good information, and that it's highly searchable. So I want to draw your attention first off to the job title section here. You can see Jeremiah's got his name, he's got a nice photo of himself and everything, he's got where he works, but then he's got Chief Content Officer and VP of Product Development for Social 5. Here's the key part: a trusted source for social media management. And, he could just say Social 5 in there, right? But putting that in there, a trusted source for social media management, he gets that social media management keyword in there. And that's really important. So when you guys are thinking about doing that, when you're filling out both your personal and your business LinkedIn profile, on the job title section, make sure you include some keywords and phrases that way. Another thing that you want to make sure you do is you put in your contact info. Let's come down here to, you can see, and again, this is like an online resume, right? You've got all your interests, your contact info, lots of information here. And the more information you put in, the better it's going to be. The more you fill out your education, this summary is a great place to put keywords and phrases and things like that. Really helpful. So the more you can do here, the better. Let's go to Jeremiah's contact info here. You can see his, how to IM him, how to get in touch with him and everything. Then he's got his websites here. And this is one of the things I want you guys to think about too, is you can do a visit my website, which will take you to social5.com. You can also, LinkedIn allows you to put in up to 3 websites on here. So you can also include your Facebook and your Twitter, or you can include different pages on your website. So if you had a website that has several different pages, you could do an about me, buy my product, learn more, something like that. And you could link to all different pages on your website or to other social channels. Again, really going to be helpful, helps those backlinks on your website and on all your social channels that help those search spiders, really go like, hey, this might be something that I want to pick up. Those backlinks are really important. So that's one thing, try and find at least 3 websites that you can put in there, because it allows you to. There's no point in not doing it. Another thing that's really cool about LinkedIn is LinkedIn allows video content. And unlike on Facebook or something where, your content will keep moving down, you can actually put video content on your LinkedIn page that will remain a fixture. So Jeremiah here has a little video here, and I won't make you watch the whole thing, but pretty cool, right? That you can watch, that you can have a video. The reason this is so cool is because search engines love videos. They are some of the top results. So putting a video on your summary page is going to be really helpful. If you have a video that talks about your business, or even just, you know, something fun, maybe a commercial that you guys have done, whatever, go ahead and include that there. It's really going to help your searchability. And then, of course, the last thing is you're just going to want to make sure you fill out your education, your experience, both for your personal and for your business page. You can see Jeremiah has done this for his profile. Social 5 is a social media management company. You know, he's got kind of some of those keywords in there. He's got information about how we do stuff in English, Spanish, and French. Things like that tend to be important, right? And then some of these other ones where he doesn't care so much if people find out. You know, he doesn't really care if people now know more about him being a political and investigative reporter at the Salt Lake Tribune. So he hasn't bothered to fill that one out as much because it doesn't have as many keywords that would be relevant to our current business. He's got his skills in there. He's got his education. This is another one where education really tends to be searchable because a lot of people are looking for other people who went to their alma mater. So again, putting in your education is, even if it's just high school or whatever, is really important. And then you can, you know, you've got some other personal details and things like that. Organizations you might belong to. That's a really great one if you belong to, you know, a trade organization or a chamber of commerce, anything like that, you know, an association, something like that. Make sure you put that in there because it's very helpful on your SEO or your social search optimization. All right. Well, that's all I have today. Again, this is, you know, it's almost as simple as just telling you, go fill out your profile, right? But again, this is one of those things that people just don't think to do. They put together a page and they start streaming content and stuff, but they don't work on this background information that is what search engines are searching for. So I'd really encourage you to do that. Again, it's free to do all of these things. If you don't remember the login stuff to your Facebook, Twitter, or LinkedIn, let us know. Send us an email over at support@social5.com and we'll send that information to you so you can hop in and fill this out. Again, you know, just as many keywords and phrases as you can get in there and as much information as you can. It's really going to help you out. Does anybody have any questions before we log off? None? All right. Well, I'll go ahead and end the webinar then, but again, just can't emphasize enough how important this is and how, you know, just these little things can make a really big difference. So I hope that's helpful to you guys, and we'll see you next time.